What's up, guys? Welcome back to Grappler's Graveyard, back again with another video, here to review Future Kimonos gear. Now, unless you're living under a bush, Future Kimonos is one of the largest brands for jiu-jitsu gear in the industry currently, sponsoring names like Gordon Ryan. Gordon Ryan obviously is the GOAT currently.
That's why he's the MVP! That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
But nonetheless, I want to take the time to talk a little bit about their gear because I personally love it and want to, talk about it. Anyways, so today we have 3 separate rash guards that I do have and love from Future Kimonos. 3 separate pieces of equipment, a gi pants, everything along those lines to talk about. Here, we're going to be talking about the first one. I personally love this one and train in this thing all the time. This is the ADCC 2022 collection that I actually got while I was at ADCC back in Vegas in 2022. That was my first ADCC. It was pretty freaking awesome to begin with. But nonetheless, I love Future Kimonos rash guards. Not only do they feel really good on the body, but they just look really cool as well. Now, one thing, I've had this rash guard for a couple of years now, and I'm sure this happens with a lot of equipment that you ultimately do train with. You start to see a little bit of wear and tear. You can see a little bit right here, like on the inseam, things getting caught in the wash machine. But nonetheless, this thing is like been through the ringer. There's no stretching, like in terms of like any of the material actually like staying loose. It still fits extremely tight to my body. Again, I constantly am getting compliments on this stuff, and I do love it. My favorite part about it, the little Joe Rogan logo on there. I don't know if the 2024 ADCC this year coming up is going to have similar gear like this, but if they do, you will definitely see me wearing this. Before we go any further into the other rash guards that I do have, be sure to like and subscribe if you want to continue seeing gear reviews like this. Ultimately end up purchasing any of the gear, you can go ahead and use my coupon code to save 15% on your entire order. Without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the rest of the gear. Okay, the next 2 rash guards, one of them is actually the custom rash guard, so I don't know if any of you guys do order any of these rash guards from Future Kimonos, but they do give you the ability to create something customize your own. Now, one thing I will say I don't like about Future Kimonos is their delivery times. Now, they recently did revamp their entire website and started to promise a little faster delivery times, so maybe that has changed. I haven't ordered anything as of like the last month when I saw this rebrand of their website. So just kind of keep that in mind. If you are somebody that's a little bit more impatient with, waiting for things to be customized or even shipped out to begin with, Future Kimonos is known to have a little bit longer lead times on their gear. I don't know why, but that's just what they noticed. Or one thing that I did notice. Now, for this one, I did get a completely custom. I don't know if you can tell because it is black, but it says my last name here, and it says Land of Jiu-Jitsu and Home of Champions. I do love this rash guard. One thing that's different between this one and the ADCC one, these are the same size, but this one ran a little bit shorter than that ADCC one. Not necessarily sure why, but nonetheless, again, another really cool rash guard that I do ultimately love from Future Kimonos. And then at the end of the day, like this stuff, they have so many great options ultimately to choose from. I think that Future Kimonos and companies like X Martial are probably the 2 leaders in terms of designs and what they ultimately look like. If you're anything like me, I like to look good on the mats. Simplicity is cool. Simplicity has its times and its places, but at the end of the day, I don't necessarily mind paying a little bit extra for, cool looking gear at the end of the day. Now, the one thing that you will notice when you go on Future Kimono's website is that, yes, their gear is a little bit more on the pricey side. So again, if you ultimately end up purchasing anything, feel free to use my coupon code to save 15% off. But there are cheaper options that are out there and available. At the end of the day, I'm not somebody that's going to I don't mind paying extra for gear or things that I know that are high quality, right? I kind of bake in the idea if I'm paying cheaply for something, then I'm probably going to get cheap quality and if I pay higher for something or pay a higher price for something, I'm probably getting higher quality. Now, sometimes it's not necessarily the case. And sure, you can make arguments for a lot of different products and a lot of different things when that's not necessary. But here in this case, I think that the price is kind of justified for a lot of things that they're purchasing. Now, one thing that I love about Future Kimonos is their Ghee. They recently released this, I think, last year, but this is like my go-to favorite Ghee I think that I own currently. What I loved most, I know when I initially opened this up, I think that this is probably the coolest part of the Ghee, right? This inside seam right here is like silky smooth. I know after like a couple wear and tears of actually washing this thing, it's kind of lost its softness, but nonetheless, this thing was so comfortable when I first started wearing this and training in this. Look, like, it's got the cool snake design here, right there. It's got the Future Kimonos tag. I believe that right now these are like $150 to $175 online at the website. When I first bought this was $220, so it's much more expensive. So I think you can get a pretty decent price for a Ghee if you're looking for, premium quality. One thing that I will say about this Ghee is that when you put it on, this is an A1L. It feels good. It always, from pretty much day one, fit on my body perfectly, and it was super lightweight. It was my first time experiencing, like, having such a lightweight feeling Ghee when I actually put it on. So that's absolutely incredible. I do highly recommend anybody, if you are on the fence about getting this Ghee. Yes, again, it is a little bit more pricey, but again, I do think that when you're paying a higher price for products, you get a better quality, and this thing is the best quality Ghee that I currently own. So nonetheless, yeah. Now, one thing I do want to mention is on the pants themselves. These are a little all wrinkly and whatnot. They do fit a little bit more slimly on my legs. So they are a little bit tighter, but I just believe that's probably from washing it and leaving it out to dry and everything along those lines, that they kind of do just morph a little bit more to my body. So just keep that in mind. They don't necessarily restrict movement, but again, they're just a little bit more snug to my legs. I love Future Kimonos gear. I think it's great. The only downside that I do believe, there's two downsides, right? Price, it's a little bit more pricey stuff, and their shipping and handling. I do think that they could definitely do a much better job at being able to deliver products in a much more seamless way, whether that be like if they start shipping on Amazon or they just, handle their own problems that they have. But nonetheless, if you do enjoy these types of videos, it means the world to me if you'd like, subscribe, maybe leave a comment. Thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.